Was a girl running in our group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford Coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
You know, I promised you I was going to tell you a little bit more about Stinkygate, and I am. Stellantis. The Chrysler Stellantis has a group called Chrysler. That's our old Chrysler Corp. They happen to have bought. And they just got sentenced in the U.S. diesel emissions probe. Stinkygate, Stinkygate isn't going away for a while, I guess. Stellantis, U.S. unit, the former Fiat Chrysler automobiles, was sentenced Monday after pleading guilty in June to criminal conspiracy and will pay $300 million to resolve a multi-year U.S. Department of Diesel emissions fraud. It just makes me laugh, makes me chuckle. FCA, formerly known Chrysler Group LLC, previously struck a plea agreement with the Justice Department and agreed to pay $96.1 million fine and forfeit $203.6 million. FCA US also sentenced a 3-year term of organizational probation. Oh, that's terrible. Slap on the wrist. The company has, well, of course, that's $96 million more than a slap on the wrist. Or $300 million, yeah. The company has been charged with making false representations about diesel emissions in more than 100,000 2014 to 2016 Jeep Grand Cherokee Ram 1500 diesel engines. The Justice Department said FCA had conspired to cheat the U.S. emissions tests. The government noted FCA U.S. had previously paid $311 million civil penalty. Oh, God. And more than $183 million in compensation to 63,000 people as a part of a class action diesel lawsuit. Jeez. The automaker must conduct was it worth it? I don't know. Was it worth it? They don't sell that many in the United States. The automaker must conduct an initial review of its compliance with the Clean Air Act. Oh, boy. Now the EPA's on your butt. And an inspection and testing procedures, submit a report, and prepare at least 2 follow-up reports. Okay, we're going to make a bunch of paper. We're going to kill a bunch of trees in this the EPA environment. 3 FCA U.S. employees have been indicted for conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and violate the Clean Air Act and are awaiting a trial. Uh-oh. Can you say, uh-oh? You know, and I'll clarify, when I said that they like the Europeans and the Asian culture like the diesel engines better, you got to remember, the United States is the industrial giant of the world. We not only take raw oil and make diesel fuel, we refine diesel fuel and make it gasoline. It's so much easier for those people that don't have to build all these plants to just refine it and make diesel. So they would rather go diesel. They'd much rather go electric, trust me. But they'll burn oil to make the electricity. They don't care. Coal and oil, they don't care about that. For some reason, we're the only ones that care about the planet. It seems like, anyway. But, yeah, it's so much easier. We are an industrial giant, and we have plants that refine everything to its max. You know, I'm surprised they haven't taken Spam and made steak out of it yet, you know. We refine everything. And we're over there, they don't have that kind of manpower or work power or the industrial power. We have it. So 63,000 diesels in America. That's how all they sold, the Chrysler Corporation. 63,000. So that's the drop in a bucket. That's not even a month of manufacturing for some vehicles. Yeah. It's just not the same. 928 car guys, if you think I'm goofy. All right. Mid-size cars. This is the IIHS, Independent Insurance Highway Safety. independently insurance industry funded nonprofit. Mid-sized cars don't hold up as well as crossover SUVs in a new side impact test that they do. Only the 22 Subaru Outback earned a top or good rating in a new crash test meant to reflect what happens when a car gets hit on the driver's side by a heavier vehicle at high speeds. In other words, T-boned. I don't know why this guy doesn't say T-boned. I don't see this author very often either. The 2022 Hyundai Sonata and 22 Volkswagen Jetta earned acceptable ratings due to more severe impacts on the driver's pelvis and rear passenger's torso or pelvis. That poor test dummy. That poor guy's beat to death. The 2022 Honda Accord earned a marginal setting due to an elevated risk of impact on the driver's head. Ouch. The 2022 Toyota Camry and the 2022 Nissan Altima, 2022 Chevy Malibu all earned poor ratings for a higher risk of intrusion in the cabin and higher risk of injury. So those side curtain airbags in those cars aren't worth a fizz. In tests of small and mid-sized crossover SUVs, 10 out of 18 SUVs earn good ratings. None earn poor ratings. So you're better off, you're safer in an SUV. The new cars aren't worth a dizzle. They're not safe. If that's what you want to call it, I don't know. Here we go with a little story that we need to talk about. Because it's happening, and I found out it's more rampant than ever. I talked to a spokesman from Chrysler up in Detroit. I didn't talk to him. I emailed him, and he emailed me back. He must have thought I was somebody important, because I'm not. But he did email me back, and I kind of like that part. The headline says, General Motors will penalize customers who resell certain high-demand vehicles within 12 months. Here's what they're doing, Eric, and this is pretty slick. People are getting on the waiting list for certain vehicles. General Motors is asking dealers to help prevent customers from quickly flipping high-demand vehicles and adding exorbitant markups. The automaker is barring customers who resell certain high-demand vehicles within 12 months from placing future reservations and orders. GM also is limiting the transfer of certain warranties. Steve Carlisle, president of General Motors North America, outlined the change in a letter sent to dealers Friday. For now, GM considers the 2023 Cadillac Escalade V, that's electric, I guess, the Chevrolet Corvette Z06, that's a monster, and the GMC Hummer EV pickup and SUV are all high-demand models that the requirement would affect. Industry-wide, dealers and consumers have been charging hefty prices for vehicles. Oh boy, dubbed market adjustments by dealers. I call it thievery. As inventory remains scarce, GM and other automakers have urged their dealership networks to sell and price vehicles fairly. But they've urged them to do that. They can't make them do that, okay? And they are keeping their inventories low so that they can just sell you what they want for whatever price they want. Now, here's what's happening, Eric. People are buying, or they're getting on the list 4 and 5 times to buy these high-end vehicles. And I'm sure General Motors isn't the only one. The Ford Mustang Mach-E and the Bronco, they're all high demand. Several other high demand vehicles out there, and they're hard to come by. And they're buying these vehicles, and then they turn around. They don't even title them in their name. They turn around and flip them right away to somebody that wants to buy it for $20,000 more. These people are smart. I mean, you sell 5 cars like that, you made yourself $100,000 in 1 year. So then they're on the waiting list 3 and 4 times, and they're flipping these cars. So General Motors has seen this, and they're actually going to void warranties of those cars from people. Of course, if they can afford to pay $30,000 over what the car is actually sold for, or what it's actually listed at, if they can afford that, they don't care about a warranty. Let's face it, they could care less about a warranty of any kind. They'll spend $20,000 to put a motor in it. They don't give a darn. It's not right. But these people that have money are using other people as like straw buyers. That's what they call that, straw buying. Having people get on the list and buy me a Cadillac or a Hummer electric vehicle, or buy me a Cadillac Escalade, or that Corvette, the Z06. People that can afford those cars could care less about a warranty. Absolutely could care less. So they're using these people as mules, straw buyers, and they're getting their cars that they want as they come forth. People got on lists and waited for those particular cars. As you get your car, you buy it, and off you go. But only some of those people are actually waiting for that car. Other people are waiting to grab that car and resell it, or flip it, as we call it in the car business. And flipping cars used to be just only pertain to guys that bought junky cars, fixed them up a little bit, and then flipped them and sold them. Car flippers, they call them. Car jippers, I call them. And this thing about the fair price, that ain't never going to happen. They're a bunch of thieves. I'm telling you, I've never seen such thievery in my life. And I'm not going to name any names, but I'm going to name people that I know, I can tell you, that have paid $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 over sticker, or $10,000 over for a truck. That's just not fair, Eric. It's not fair to the consumer. It's not fair to you and I. Some people got to have a car. Some people's cars are shot. Some people were going to trade them 2 years ago when they started going up, and the pandemic hit and brought everything to its knees. And now they got to have a car. And now they got to pay $5,000 more than it's worth.
And this is going to be like the new trend from here on out until
That's not fair.
The end of time.
Not fair at all. No. Well, anyway, that's what a car flipper is, and that's what they're doing. Okay? So you know it, and you know what I'm talking about. Every time there's a crisis in this world, some people are smart enough to make money out of a crisis.
One way or another, huh?
Exactly. And they have a perfect excuse because they can. That's what they say. That's just not fair. But hey, what are you going to do? Jerry wrote in on Facebook, the banana split at Blue Top looks good. I'm going to tell you something. When I get done with my Big Ben burger, Jerry, I don't have room for a banana split. I'd have to go there with the banana split in mind. And then I got to get past the smell of the burger. Because I'll smell it. If there's one cooking, I'll smell it, and I got to have it. Then I'm hooked. So if I stay long enough, I might be able to stuff a banana split down.
Yeah, I still haven't had the desserts there.
It's a belt buster banana split, and it means it. It's a monster. But he's got all different kind of shakes and ice cream. I just love that place. Of course, you know that. I don't have to tell you that. And it's just I hope, as hot as it is today, I hope everybody is on their game and got enough antifreeze in their car. It's a 50-50 mixture. You know, you can go to your bumper-to-bumper any auto value store, auto wares store. It's all one big happy family. You go there, they've got 50-50 antifreeze, and they got full strength. And the countermen, especially at this one in Hammond that I deal with, that I happen to know these guys, they're sharp. Sharp guys, the auto wares, auto value bumper-to-bumper store in Hammond on Kennedy Avenue is probably one of the best parts stores I've ever dealt with. So it's nice to have. And you got to keep that radiator clear. Get those, if you got any fuzznickies today, they're gonna overheat your car. This is gonna be the day that you get hot, and it's gonna get real hot. It's already hot. What am I saying?
Yeah, I think 93.
Yeah, it's cooking already. So, and at 93, and it feels like 275, which is higher than most of the meats I cook aren't cooked at that high a temperature. So yeah, it's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully it cools down for tonight. Bill on Facebook says that from 5:30 to 9:30, the last cruise night in Lansing on Ridge.
Oh yeah, it's tonight.
Yep.
That is on tonight. My buddy, the crossing guard Bill, will be stationed out in front of the sports shop.
Yep, he's going to be right down the block.
Right down the block from my shop. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. He's it's a very dangerous position for him. He's out. I tell you what, hot rod nights, crossing nights, they're a breeze for him. When you start crossing kids at rush hour, let me just tell you how dangerous that is. That's especially on the corner Ridge and Burnham. It's the busiest corner in the south suburbs, and he's got one half of that, and it just kills him. I mean, it doesn't kill him. He's been doing it for years, but still, when it comes to danger, cruise nights are nothing. They're fun. Cruise nights you get to see the hot rods and hang out and meet a bunch of great people. Crossing kids during rush hour, no, not so much, and because people just don't respect you. All right. You want to know what's wrong with Ford? I'll tell you what's wrong with Ford. Quality problems, recurring recalls continue to haunt Ford. That's my favorite headline of the week. I own Ford, by the way. I drive a Ford. Ford Motor Company is once again struggling with quality problems that are leading to recalls and driving up warranty costs. No. And that has top executives renewing a vow to fix the problem. You know, Eric, that's something I don't stress enough, and I've never brought that out to you people. When there's a recall, you can bet there's other things wrong with that car that's not safety related that have to be fixed. And they're under warranty. Their warranty costs are soaring. If they're so stupid as not to tack a seat belt down or a seat back, or if they're just not paying attention or don't care about the way they do things, and they don't tighten this or they don't tighten that, what makes you think that's the only issue? It's not. That's the only issue that's safety related and has to be recalled according to the NHTSA or the federal government. All right. These issues simply shouldn't happen, says Kumar Halatra, head of Ford Blue, the company's traditional business in internal combustion engine vehicles. He said this at the BNP Paribas conference. Whoa, BNP. I don't know what that is. Thursday. Fixing quality is our number one priority as a company. No. Quality is job one. That was what Ford always said. Jim Farley has been promising to slash billions from warranty repair costs since, see what I mean about warranty repair costs, Eric? They go up right in conjunction with the recalls. Since he became CEO in October 2020, and the company made progress last year, but this year it's backsliding. Ford had to recall 100,000 hybrid models for a fire risk and stop delivering the popular Ford Mustang Mach-E due to a defect that could cut power to the vehicle while in motion. Federal investigators are probing catastrophic engine failures on the hot-selling Bronco SUV. There you go. That's that four-cylinder that's blowing up left and right, 2.5. Matter of fact, I think I might have one in my car. We continue to be hampered by recalls and customer satisfaction actions, Farley told analysts Wednesday during a call to discuss Ford's otherwise strong second quarter. This affects our costs, but more importantly, it falls short on our most fundamental commitment to our customers, and that is quality is job one. That, I never really, I know this is a fact that when you have a car, if you have a car that all of a sudden is leading the league in recalls, like we had today, it was BMW's turn or Audi's turn. You can bet there's a batch of Audis out there built like yuck because they didn't do the safety things. They didn't do the easy things. So there's all kinds of warranty problems going on. There's stuff that they don't have to recall, and they won't. But when they get you in for a recall, they're probably going to try and tighten things up and fix things up. Or they're going to wait till you have to pay for it. You're out of warranty. I don't know. But that's just not... You can bet that somewhere on the line, the assembly line, people are slacking. And that's exactly what happens when you start to get recalls. And next thing you know, you've got all kinds of warranty costs. And the dealers are just swamped with cars that are put together like yaki.